Hello, everyone, and welcome to another one of our team previews of the 2025 season. As always, to dissect everything about this team in particular, Intermarché Wanty is Patrick Blake of Aldo Cycling. And I mean, Patrick, Intermarché, last year they had a good season, fairly good season. Tour de France, very good, but maybe not everything else there. But we'll discuss transfers, what we think they should be doing in each of the Grand Tours. However, let's start it with what's your thoughts of Intermarché as a team last year?
If the season was just based solely upon how you do in the Tour de France, which for a lot of people it is, but if you were to say that's the only parameter which matters, then Intermarché had an absolutely fantastic season because Bini won, 3 stages on the green jersey. It was absolutely spectacular. But, like you say, they're lacking in other areas. Yes, Bini won Circuit Franco-Belge, I think he won as well. But the squad lacks depth is the main problem. Outside of Bini, there's not that many people who are big point getters. Actually, well, you could say Gerber Tayson, he did have a good start to the season. But, yeah, he, after that early season kind of stint, he didn't really do all too much. So I think the focus for Intermarché in the future should really be to try and increase this squad depth because outside of Bini, it's a little bit lacking.
If you're too much of a one-trick pony, that can go quite badly. Even Alpecin are not a one-trick pony anymore, with both Philipsen and Mathieu van der Poel. I mean, other things to bring up, yeah, again, Bini, second place, GP Quebec there. Lawrence Rex won that very peculiar edition of La Semaine, just because, was it the Portuguese rider for UAE who celebrated? The one you like? Morgado celebrated too soon. Yeah, well, we might as well get to our favorite part of the show, and that is, of course, the transfers. And Patrick, we've done the transfer talks, and I must admit they didn't come up that much. Nevertheless, Patrick, who is actually leaving the team?
Quite a few riders leaving, actually. There's still one rider who's yet to be confirmed if he's staying or going, and that is Taco van der Hoorn. That's the one person. Hopefully he re-signs. I think for their sake it would be good to try and keep him on board. But outside of him, Calmejean retires at the age of 33 or something, which is a little bit peculiar, a little bit sad to see. Baptiste Blancart leaves to Van Rysel-Roubaix. Mike Turnison leaves to Astana, Kazakhstan. That's quite a big one considering that he's quite reliable at picking up top 10s in one-day races. Ryan Talamay goes to a Estonian continental team. Boy van Poppel retires. Rune Hellerhotz goes to UAE Team Emirates. And something which was fairly recent, I would say in the last few weeks, is that Madis Mikkels, the Estonian rider who finished 3rd in the European Champs this year, he actually leaves to go to EF, Education EasyPost, which is a big loss for Intermarché. If he stayed, I think this squad would be in a better state. He's still very young and he's got a lot of potential. And I think actually losing him, for me, is probably the biggest loss of all these people going out in terms of ability at the moment and a future prospect as well. So it's a shame to have seen him go, and I think Intermarché will miss him. Maybe not even next year, but maybe in future years where he'd develop into more of a rider. But yeah, what do you reckon to their riders out?
Yeah, I definitely think there's some riders getting lost, a lot of experience. Calmejean's actually only 31, so even younger. Quite surprising. Boy van Poppel, 36. I only know this because I checked both the ages while you were reading it out. It's not like I'm super genius with the ages. So yeah, big loss there. But yeah, I mean, Patrick, who's coming in is quite interesting. Yes, there's a Dane. That's why I'm interested.
Yeah, you're interested because Alexander Kamp is here. Obviously, well known for being a stage winner at the Tour de Yorkshire all those years ago.
Oh, in Scarborough, I was there. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
That was really cool. They also bring in Jonas Ruch from EF Education EasyPost, Louis Barret from Arkea B&B, Camille Boneu from Team Flanders Baloise. He won a Tour of Britain stage 2 years ago. Luc van Voven from Bingo WB, and Hub Arts from the development team. He is the current European under-23 champion. So quite a decent name. It's hard to perhaps pin down what his talents are because he actually finished at 3rd up Green Mountain in the Tour of Oman earlier this year, but he did do that from the breakaways. So I'm struggling to see what his rider profile is like. He's quite an interesting one.
No, I think you flag up interesting with the under-23 European champion. Obviously, Alexander Kamp, a very punchy rider, has done good before in the likes of Amstel Gold, has been with Tour de Pro Cycling, has been with Trek as well. I don't think he was part of the Lidl Trek iteration, but I just feel like they're missing something. I don't know if you feel that. Like, they haven't got that many riders coming in. Obviously, I was trying to advocate for Tesfacion to come to this team because I felt like Air Train contingent working up here, and there was a gap that they could also use a rider like him. But yeah, in the mountains, it seems like Louis Meintjes.
Yeah, exactly. There's only so long we can rely on Louis Meintjes, though. It's not like 2017, 2018 anymore, unfortunately. And I think you're right. I would sacrifice, like, of these 6 riders coming in, I would sacrifice 5 of them just to get one higher profile name. Like, I'm not talking like Poggies and Remcos. I haven't lost a plot. I'm just talking about, a decent level sprinter would be good. Just somebody to balance it with Binny, or, somebody who's a decent climber who can, get in breakaways and finish top 10 Grand Tours. A rider like a Michael Storer or something like that, who just finished top 10 in Grand Tours, getting breakaways. That sort of rider caliber is what I think this team lacks. Because, like you say, I think outside of Binny, this team it's struggling. And if Binny crashes, like that bad Flanders crash a couple of years ago,
Or the Giro crash.
yeah, exactly. Like, if he's out of a season with a bad injury, I really hope that's not happening. But I'm just saying, if it did, they'd be all sorts of stuck.
I think you're right. They are missing a bit more depth in the squad, and you can't rely on Binny for everything. You can't send him to the whole classic season and the Giro and the Tour and all the exterior races. Like, they need someone who could do quite well in the Italian autumn races, for example. I mean, they're not in relegation danger right now, but like you said, one season bad for Binny, and it could change a bit. Anyways, Patrick, as we always have done, what are you going to give these overall transfers out of 10? We've done it so far for all of the teams, but what is your verdict for Intermarché Wanty based on in and out?
It's not going to be good. I'm going to give this a 4.6.
Okay, fair enough. It's hard. Okay, I'm going to give 4.8 because I think, we it's like room for improvement.
Yeah. At least they got me under 23 European champion. It's just that they lost, on balance, more talent than they brought in.
Yeah, and for a team like them, it's a bit of a shame that they're not like bringing more people in.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, we might as well go into a more speculative. And the monuments, they didn't have a great set of monuments last year, but in terms of this year's monument, are you just going Binny for the first 3? Well, he hasn't done Paris-Roubaix yet, but that was the plan at some point.
Yeah, that's the realistic goal, to send Binny to MSR, to Flanders, and also to Roubaix. Liège and Lombardie, it's just not going to work for me. I don't know who they'd send to those ones, though, in all honesty, outside of Binny. Can you see anyone? I mean, I'm a big advocate for Francesco Bazzato, don't get me wrong. Absolutely love it, but getting this guy who's like 21 years old to be your, statesman for going into a monument doesn't exactly exude the sort of confidence and, prestige the team might want. Who do you think they might send to?
You'd probably send him in like a few years' time, because, we all know that you're under 23 champion because of you. In terms of last year, highest place, 33rd, Lorenzo Rota. So there is a lot of potential to improve. And I mean, if you look inside the top 10, the kind of riders that they should probably have brought into their team if they could. I mean, Alexei Lutsenko was on the market apparently. Ion Izagirre, maybe.
I'm just thinking of who else I'd be sent. I mean, if you're Lawrence Rex, I'd send to Roubaix. Didn't he finish top 10?
Yeah.
Is it this year?
I think it was year before.
Adrien Petit, he's usually a contender to finish top 15, sometimes in the top 10 as well. Jonas Ruch would go there for sure. And then, try out some people like Raoul van, what's his name? Sint Maartensdijk? That's a long name. I'm not sure why I committed myself to try and say that. But I'd be sending him as well. Arne Mallet, possibly Hugo Page. Those sorts of riders will be going to Flanders and Roubaix and also to MSR. Bini will be a big kind of leader for that team, so it's all right. Teams which have just one sole leader can sometimes work out really well, but I just think that's where their results are going to come from. Like, if they're going to do well in monuments, it's going to be those first three. I just think that Liège and Lombardia is not for them. They don't have the climbing talent in this squad to be competitive as, so they got to be targeting those first three monuments super hard.
Yeah, I agree. But there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest, if they get a good set of results. We might as well jump into the Giro d'Italia. I'm assuming that Bini is going to be going back to the Tour de France, being the green jersey winner, being part of the Singapore post-criterium events as well. So I think he's just going to be laser focused on the Tour now. He did the Giro and the Tour in 2024, but he crashed out. As we mentioned, it's not glamorous in Intermarché. They have had a few good Giro d'Italias, but what are you looking at for 2025? Is that going to be more a learning curve for some of the youngsters? I mean, Borsato, send him there.
Yeah, I was thinking Borsato, either to the Giro or possibly the Vuelta. I think he needs to get a Grand Tour this year because his contract is up with the team, so therefore he sort of needs to go to a Grand Tour to test the waters a bit. Whether that would be the Giro or the Vuelta, I don't know. I think both suit him. The Giro generally has longer climbs, and I think he's probably more of a puncher, so the Vuelta might be a little bit better for him. But either one would be good. I'd send Gerber-Tayson to the Giro. I think that was supposed to happen this year, but it never actually came to fruit for some reason. He had a really good start to the season. You saw him doing really well in loads of sprints early on, and then for some reason he didn't go to the Giro. I think it makes sense for him to go there. Obviously, it depends on the sprinting talent, but I think it makes more sense to send him there, then send Bini to the Tour, then maybe branch out a little bit more in the Vuelta. Maybe could go there as well. But going back to a Giro, just to finish up there, gosh, I mean, I don't know, Lorenzo Rota, I might send there.
Just anything Italian.
Cobra Cosen, yeah, Simon Pizzilli, Kevin Colleoni, they're all going. It's just, I'm struggling to see who is going to be getting the results here. Is it all just for Gerber-Tayson in sprints, and then you just hope for the best in the other breakaways?
Yeah, I almost want to say yes. I have one correction on my part. I was saying that they needed someone who could finish high up in the autumn classics in Italy. Borsato finished 9th, 8th, and 8th in the final one, Venato Classic. So he had actually 3 top 10s in 3 races towards the end. So
you're disrespecting my man's name.
He's definitely getting a contract, I think.
The other team didn't take him.
Exactly.
I'd hope they wouldn't.
No, I think your Giro d'Italia, yeah, it makes sense. Where are you sending Louis Meintjes, by the way? Are you sending him to the Tour or to the Giro? Because, I mean, he could maybe get a Giro top 10.
Yeah, he could do. You're probably better off sending him to the Giro than the Tour. Okay, send Meintjes to the Giro then. Obviously, we still don't know what the profile's like. Yeah, coming out in January.
This is going to be like the running show on these ones. Yeah. Thanks, Albania.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Meintjes can go to the Giro as well, possibly. He can always double up and then go to the Tour and just target stages as best he can.
Yeah, counter. Anyways, going to the Tour de France, Biniam Girmay show, I think.
Yeah. Zinnemann probably gets in there as well. Louis Barret and Hugo Page get in, and Adrien Petit, because they're French, obviously. What about Hub Arts, the under-23 European champ? Would you send him to a Grand Tour immediately, or are you going to wait a year? Actually, I know we've already finished the classics, but I reckon he should probably be going there for a start. I think he looks like more of a rouleur, so he'd definitely get into the classic squads.
And then if he does well, then send him to a Grand Tour?
Oh yeah, he'll be going to the Tour. Easy. If he does at least a Tour well, he is already above expectations.
Anyways, Vuelta Espana?
Vuelta will be
Intermarché, Vuelta Espana. I mean, Louis Meintjes, I would send him here.
Possibly he's going to all 3 Grand Tours.
No, I mean, I would send him to the Giro Tour. No, Giro Vuelta.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I might send Gerber-Tayson again to the Vuelta. His sprinting quality is never back. He's got to beat Caden Groves, basically. That's because Caden Groves only gets given the Vuelta and the Giro, to be fair. But I'd send Gerber-Tayson there again, just trying to get that one win. And then you're throwing in those youngsters. Yeah, Bussato might get in here. What about Alexis Fauda-Prost, the young French talent, 20 years old? He won up the Stelvio stage in the Baby Giro
Oh, yeah.
2023. He is only 20 though, so I'm not sure. It could be a little bit too early to be launching him into a Grand Tour, because he's signed on until 2026, so there's not a particular rush, I suppose. Rota would probably go to the Vuelta as well. Dion Smith. Actually, what's his name? Gies van Hoeke? Gies van Hoeke was the guy who kept on randomly doing really well in the Tour of Guangxi sprints. He finished 2nd, 9th, and 7th in the first 3 stages of the Great Tour of Guangxi. Maybe he obviously seems a bit of a sprinter. I reckon he's going to fit into one of these squads. He's done 1 Grand Tour in his life, and that was the Giro. Maybe send him to the Giro alongside Tayson. Maybe he's lead out man or something like that.
I would obviously try and advocate to get Kamp in. I think Kamp's role is maybe for the lead-out train in the Tour de France, maybe being like the Mike Journison after losing him to Astana. Have a good sprint on him.
I was just looking at, because obviously we're realising that Intermarché have limited resources here. I was looking at riders who are out of contract at the moment, who they could pick up. There is Elia Viviani, Esteban Chavez, Kenny Elissonde. There's also like James Shaw, Jefferson Alvaro Cepeda, Stefan de Bod. There's quite a lot of riders still without a contract for next year that I think Intermarché should try and snatch up, because there's decent climbing talent there. Like even Chavez. This is a guy who all of 2 years ago was winning Volta Catalunya stages, and now he's out of a contract. What have you got to lose? You may as well try and sign up some of these people. So if I had a plea for Intermarché, it would be, please just go and check out the riders who don't have a contract for next season and just make some last minute signings quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Bini wins might potentially have brought in more money as well. Potential new sponsors.
So
yeah, you would hope. But I mean, on the Bini front, yes, we know I love talking about Biniam Girmay. Very nice guy. Patrick, what do you see his 2025 looking like? Do you think he's going to have similar success? I mean, winning 3 stages at the Tour, green jersey, maybe the pressure's off a bit. He feels more confident. I mean, he won the Giro stage. Then there was in 2022, and then there was so much pressure thrusted onto him. And for the 2023 Tour de France, it was like, it's not if he wins the Tour stage win, it's when. And it just didn't happen, but he came close. And then this year, he's absolutely got skyrocketed profile-wise as well. Like, if you saw the pictures of him, his celebration tours around Eritrea, Asmara, that was incredible. So, yeah. Do you think we're going to see a more confident, like he feels like more he belongs, he's one of the big guns? Or was it a bit of a fluke? That's me being devil's advocate, by the way.
Yeah.
Come for me, Eritrea.
No, I see what you mean. You don't win 3 tour stages as a fluke, I suppose. You'd have to fluke 3 times, and then you'd also have to fluke continuously to not get green. That basically, I think it can't be a fluke. It had to be, maybe it's just that he had good legs going into it. It all looked like it was all going pear-shaped after the Giro. Once he crashed there, it was like, oh, well, this is it for the whole season. Then it was just a bit of a redemption story. For Bini next year, it's strange because he broke onto the scene as the person who won against Wevelgem, and he was seen as this next Cobble Classics star. Then he didn't do that well in the Cobble Classics. I know he crashed in Flanders, but 2023, 2024, not really anywhere in the Cobble Classics. But then he's now a big name sprinter, and it's hard to tell where to put him, where to think he's going to go next, because I think he could now see the Cobble Classics as a bigger goal, because he's done the Tour and he's done well there, and the pressure's off a little bit, and whether he wants to try and get a bit more of a complete palmares in the Cobble Classics. I mean, for sure, again, Wevelgem is always within reach, I think, for him. I think he's got to convert on a San Remo. If Philipsen is winning it, he can win it. There's no reason why, because he beat Philipsen in sprints in the Tour. He can climb as well as Philipsen. He can get over the Poggio. There's no reason why Bini can't be winning Milano-San Remo. If Philipsen can do it, then absolutely Bini can. Flanders, I really don't know. I think Bini can do well in the semi-classics. I think he could do well in O'Kerner. If it's a sprinty version of Omloop, he could definitely win that. You know, Dwars-Dorflanderen as well, he could maybe win that. But I'm just not too sure about Flanders and Roubaix, you know. I think that might just be a step too far. But in terms of the Tour, I don't see any reason why he can't win stages again. Now he's got that confidence. Now that he's done it, he's got the green jersey. He's probably just going to be like, all right, let's just go do it again. Let's go try get green. Let's go try get multiple stages. Why not? Like, there's no reason why not. It's not like he did it all by accident.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, it would be great for him to get his first monument. But number one on my Biniam wish list is for him to win the Eritrean road race, which he's not yet been able to do. He's been in national time trial champion before. Yeah, let that sink in. A sprinter national time trial champion. But I think the experience, the team is more confident. They wins breed more confidence, etc. And I think the start he had this year, he spoke about that early on in the year, that starting in hotter climate. So instead of going to Spain, Mallorca, wherever, he went to Australia and started his season there. But obviously there were a number of crashes. So he still had to bounce back. That Giro crash, like you said, it looked like that could have just derailed everything. But did manage to bring some good results in the Tour in the Brussels Classic and some other one-day races before the Tour. Nevertheless, I really think that we could have another big season for him after that confidence. He just needs to not have bad luck. Well, like all the races you said, like Milan-San Remo, get well again, I think they could be on his target list. And he's almost like Tom Boonen. Well, not really, because Boonen wasn't... He seems like his build is more of a climber than a sprinter sometimes.
Yeah, Bini is just like a lightweight Sagan for me.
Yeah, exactly. He has a Sagan that came on the podium in Amstel Gold. That's the rider that Bini could fit into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now coming to Patrick's favorite part of the show, and that is hot takes time. So, Patrick, what are we going to go for? How many wins is Bini going to take overall?
What, in the year?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I think he took the Torquay Classic, Franco-Belgic race, and Free State. I think he took 5 or 6 wins in 2024.
Yeah. I'm going to go with 8.
8? Wow, okay. Are they all in the Tour?
No, I think... No, it'd be spread out. Because I've said this before, but he doesn't actually have that many wins in stage races. When you look at his Palmares, it's like he's done well in Grand Tour stages and then one-day races. And if he converted a bit more on the Catalonias, Itzulias, Pyrenees, Terrenos of the world, I think that he could definitely rack up to 8.
Okay, I will maintain my Bini status and say 10.
Oof, wow.
Can't be outgunned by you. That looks bad for me.
Yeah, wow, he's set the bar high.
Anyways, the Monument, what is their best results in 2025?
It's got to be Milano-San Remo. It has to be.
How high?
How high?
First ever Eritrean winner of a Monument and Milan-San Remo at the same time?
I reckon he'll finish. I'm going to go 3rd, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think maybe this year San Remo has set a bit of a new precedent. Maybe Alpecin play a defensive from now on and just try to get Philipsen over, but maybe Bini can sneak on the end of that.
Okay, just to be different, I'll say 3rd in Tour of Flanders with Bini and 6th place with Lawrence Rex in Paris.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I was going to go like a classic Adrien Petit finishing 9th in Roubaix from a breakaway or something like that. Just incredibly normal Adrien Petit behaviour.
You just need to get in that early break and you're almost guaranteed a top 10.
Yeah, you almost do. Unless Alpecin decide to rip it up from the start of a race like they did this year.
But anyways, Giro d'Italia, or we might as well just lump them all together. Giro, well, how many stages? I think is better because they're not really GC orientated, but maybe you think Louis Meintjes is going to finish in top 10. But how many stages in each one do you think they'll win?
I'm going to go with 0, 1, and 1.
Ouch, low.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to go for 9, 11, and no, I'm kidding. First one, 2, 2, and 1.
I've ended up thinking with Vuelta.
No. 2 Giro, 2 Tour, and 1 Vuelta. Yeah, that's quite a high bar for them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they've ever won stages in every single Grand Tour in a year.
No, I don't think they have.
Yeah, because it would have had to have been last year because that's the first time they won a stage in their tour.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the best transfer? Obviously, I'm going to say Alexander Kamp. He wins Amstel Gold. He wins a stage in the tour. He does everything.
I'll say Hubert, the under-23 champ. European champ, that is.
Why?
Why? I think he's just going to rack up some top 10s in one-day races and just bring in some very quiet points along the way.
Let's hope that Intermarché, they listen to your last-minute transfer advice as well. But
they honestly should do. Why are they not picking up Esteban Chavez and Kenny Ellison? They're the best climbers they've got on their team.
That's true. But anyways, with that, that's basically it for our Intermarché Wanty show. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out Patrick's own channel, How Do Cycling. And of course, we've got the other episodes as well in the series, so check those out if you haven't already. And we've got our podcast as well live, so if you'd rather listen to us. But for now, that's basically it for us. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one, which is, I'm not sure. Well, you have to come back to find out.